What's going on, guys? Giuseppe here. We're going to talk today about a company called JagerWerks. They are a pretty cool company. I like them. I've used them twice so far, as you can see. And what they do is they do slide milling for Glocks, SIGs, and CZs. Now, when you email them any questions, they're super responsive. They have good customer service. To the best of my knowledge, what little I have requested, they do try to appease your own preferences. So if you don't see something on their site and you kind of want it, you can usually ask them and they seem to be okay with it. The one thing that I requested personally was, you see the 19X here. The 19X is one sexy beast from the factory. Finally, Glock did something right. And the finish, I'm a big fan of. That is probably one of my favorite parts of the Glock 19X is the finish on the slide. They were able to mill the slide and keep the finish. So that's pretty cool. And they just did tool black where it was actually milled. You know, they just tried to coat the actual cut surface and not screw up any of the factory finish. Other than that, they offer tons of different options for Glocks, obviously, because we all know how perfect Glocks are. And they do tons of different window options, different front serrations. It's very cool what you can do with the Glocks. With the CZs, they have some pretty cool options too. As you can see, I opted for, on both guns, a rear RMR cut with the backup irons being front and a new dovetail milled out. They do their dovetails as a Glock rear sight, so even on the CZ. So I mean, that makes it nice, so you have plenty of options because Glock sights suck, so everyone makes sights for Glocks. So you will not have a problem finding a rear sight that fits. You might have to troubleshoot, say like for the CZ, you might have to find a certain size front post, certain size rear post, and mix and match until you get the point of aim that you're hoping for. As you can see, I do not have backup irons on, well, technically either gun. The Glock 19X simply has its standard height irons on there. That is mostly to fill in the holes in the slide. So obviously you cannot see standard height irons with the RMR on the Glock. And on the CZ, I haven't put any on there either. For right now, I'm hoping for the dead air flip-up sights, and that is something that I would be interested in getting. Not to go on and on about this video, but the Type 2 RMR is so reliable that I feel the sight picture improvement that I get from not having to co-witness, that benefit outweighs the extreme rarity that this sight might malfunction and I might not get a dot. And if it ever did happen, I feel confident enough that I could point shoot well enough to save my own life. That's a long story short. You can think I'm crazy or not. That's fine. That's a whole nother video topic, whether or not you want irons and co-witness. But on my rifles, I don't like a co-witness, and I don't like them on my pistols either. Because, the old adage that if you have a self-defense shooting, it's going to be within 3 yards and 3 shots and 3 seconds. So if I'm within 3 yards, I'm very confident that I can point shoot my way out of that situation. So, that out of the way. There are no backup sights on these guns, so disregard that. We're back to JagerWerks. They have lots of cool options for Glocks. They have lots of cool options for CZs. They have a little bit less for SIGs, but they do RMR cuts. They do the front dovetail, the rear dovetail, wherever you prefer it. Like I said, I prefer if I'm even going to have backup irons, I want them as an afterthought. I want my main focus to be my RMR. That is my sight. The irons are there if that sight ever didn't work. So, I want them at minimum in front of the RMR. So, something cool they do for CZ is they do some top serrations, which are pretty sweet. So as you know, CZ, these are the factory serrations right here, and they end at that little ridge. So these are factory, and these are factory. Obviously, there used to be a dovetail there. They moved it over here and cut it for a Glock. and put the RMR as low as it possibly can be. We'll try to show that. See that right there? I mean, it's like right on the edge of the window. So, I mean, it is very, very low. It's a perfect cut. There is no air at all. Awesome job. And so they offer a chamfer cut right here for these serrations, plus their little logo. This is optional. The serrations on the top, all right here, all optional. And then there's the window, as you can see, and matching on the other side with their logo again. You can get just the chamfer, you can get just the tops, or you can get no tops. You know, everything is independently optioned out on their website, which is very cool. They also offer a Cerakote service, which you can see, and I absolutely love it. This is the black multicam. That is their version of it. And I think they call it something else, but because they have their own little patterns too. But I think this is just the regular black multicam. I think they actually call it that. Looks awesome. I absolutely love it. It came out so good. And one of my favorite things about this is that the cut is so good. The quality, the fit and finish, everything is so good. And this whole thing only cost me like $300. I mean, that is a fantastic deal. I think it might have been a little bit more, like $325 or something like that with all the options that I got. But, I mean, and they're fast. They're super fast. It only took them like about 4 weeks to do all of this, maybe 3. So, you know, you're getting really good quality work at a decent price, and you know, it's just very hard to beat. I mean, JagerWerks did a really good job, and like I said, this guy Steve, he's extremely responsive with his emails. If you have any questions, and I was very meticulous. Let's put that aside for now. I was very meticulous about this guy right here, because like I said, the finish on the 19X is one of my favorite things. And there you go. You can see the finish. This is the factory finish. They made the cuts here, and they put the new dovetail, and then they call it tool black, where they just tried to paint inside where they actually cut the surface, and they left everything stock, and that's exactly what I wanted. If this will focus in, you can see like right there, there's like a little black line. There's a couple little black marks. There's like this little dot right here. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's heat. I don't know. There's something like little dot right there. You know, very minor things that were left on the gun. But besides that, they handled it with care. It didn't come back all messed up and all scratched up. It just has like a couple little black lines on it that, you know, neither here nor there. I'm not crazy about that. But it's also not totally unsightly. Like I said, you only can see it when the camera like really focuses in on it. So if you're looking to get your 19X milled, they can leave all of the factory finish on there, which is very, very cool. This too only took like 4 weeks to get back. So you just send them your slide, and then 4 weeks you get it back, and you can throw an RMR on there. And just like the CZ, it is like perfectly cut. It's friggin' really, really nice. Perfect cut. And the dovetail was also perfect. Look at that. There's like zero space. You know, it worked really, really well. I actually couldn't recommend them enough. Like I said, obviously I have 2 guns sent to them, repeat customer, and I would do it again. If I had another CZ or I had something else like a SIG that I wanted to get an RMR on there. I like their options, I like their prices, and can't go wrong with JagerWerks. So definitely a positive review. I would give them 4.5 stars. I will deduct half a star for the couple of black marks that I got on my 19X slide. But other than that, as you can see, it looks very nice. So if you guys need any milling, shoot them up. message, Steve at JagerWerks, and that is Werks with a WERKS. So there you go. Have a good day, guys. Get yourself an RMR.